way, you may go the wrong way. And they would blame themselves. Adding to the burdens they've already picked up on their life's journey. But they don't realize that guaranteeing a paved road
It's saying that I just went live, I think, and I was doing a lot of talking before. But basically, we're doing line work, we're listening to my book, and we're having a good time. Welcome.
And discovery. There is no real path. There is only the path you create. Statement 3. Explore your interests. Explore your interests, regardless of others' opinions. Some people may not be interested in what you're interested in. They may even put it down. That doesn't mean you
also, my brush broke,
what you're into.
So I'm just using the little nib thing.
If there is something that piques your curiosity, follow it. You are not alone in your passions. There is a community waiting for you to join them. It may not be the people in your neighborhood. It may not be your family, your classmates, your coworkers. But the community is out there. And with the internet, it's easier than ever to find them. At some point, you saw, heard, or experienced something that spoke to you. Is there a skill you want to learn or develop? Is there a profession you're interested in? Is there a movie or music genre that you identify with?
Oops.
Having that feeling means you are called to help the world in a unique
And I think I'm gonna do this blue
way,
outlined in white because
area
I like the blue. I want to keep the blue,
problem.
But it's just so dark.
Don't let people pull you away from that. Many of them have ignored that calling and are now so miserable or lost. They spend all their time deterring others
This black is so much darker.
Don't let those people pull you away. Because you'll regret it later in life.
The first layer of black one here,
just like that,
is a pavement black.
You wish you had stuck with it.
So she a little ashy.
You wish you had explored it. Find what speaks to you and explore it. Statement number 4. Get to know yourself.
Also, this part was read yesterday. Those first ones were read this morning.
In life, it can be easy to let others prescribe traits to us. We often look to others to tell us who we are, how we are meant to function in society. People never stop. People never tell you that if you function as yourself, you will automatically be functioning how you're meant to function. If you know who that is, you can stand confident in that knowledge of self. When people tell you you need to change, they are telling you to fit the mold they believe in. They want to make you make sense to them, not you. When you know who you are, you can see that. When you know who you are, you'll start to gather people in your life that support you. Those that try to change and manipulate others will fall away because they know their efforts to control you are futile.
You know, I have an interior design certification
about who you are,
and in that course I learned that you should put the light on the other side so you're not getting shadow from your hand, but still, here I am.
It's hard to tell which voice is actually
Yet still, here she sits.
Focus on the things that bring you joy, not what others say will make you happy. Try new things. Sometimes you don't know who you are because you've been stuck in someone else's frame. You have no idea who you are because you haven't met you yet. So take some time to get to know yourself. That's the only way the world will get to know you.
Also, this book is meant for 13 to 35-year-old females of color.
Statement 5.
Because at some point I reference living your life how you want to do and like imagining your life at around like 40 or something. And
everyone else
I just feel like
right.
Some people are like, but I am.
Go left.
I'm 55.
If you think you need to wake up at 7 a.m.
not
to start your day right,
but it's full of good information.
Wake up at 7 a.m. It's so easy to think that you need to do what other people
You know, there's always
doing.
That important question, how old do I feel right now?
As human beings, we have the desire to
find yourself feeling 13 years old, go ahead and grab this book,
and
okay?
emotional security. But there are a number of cultural norms that don't fit with people as individuals. When your internal and external are at a head, go with your internal. You have to live your life. No one else is able to be you or live your life. So you have to do what's best for you. Take advice when it aligns with your values and goals. It's great to have mentors for guidance.
Was it in the shot? Did you get my
interest or
who you fighting? Who you fighting?
Their experience and knowledge can be of great help when going through troubled waters.
Yeah, you got some elbow action in there.
However, if you ever find that something calls you to do things a little differently in your own way, go for it. A good mentor will encourage you to trust your gut, because that's usually how they learned what they know.
Ooh, there's this part, well, like a whole section.
Trust yourself.
Of this book.
And do what you feel
about
is best for you.
Isolation and solitude. And I was just like, damn. We all got sat the fuck down. 2020, okay?
Statement 6. After the accident. I've always been very independent. I told myself when I left for college, I wouldn't go back home. And I meant that with sincerity. And I felt that I could accomplish that because I've always made a way. And I really didn't want to go back to a place where I felt trapped. So I found a job, then another, to support myself over my first college summer. I found an apartment on Craigslist. I learned how to pay bills. I learned how to take the public transportation to get groceries. I learned to wake up at 5 a.m. every work morning and walk or jog to my place of work by 6 a.m. I learned how to work a shift at one job, then work a shift at another. That summer, I taught myself how hard I could hustle.
Fire.
Being hit by a taxi cab driven by a cock-eyed driver while listening to one of my favorite Childish Gambino songs on such a beautiful day barely had an effect on me. I walked all the way home by myself. My mom told me to go to the hospital to get checked out. I was fine, but she still called me every hour to make sure I didn't fall asleep in case I had a concussion they didn't notice. The only thing I had to worry about that day was calling the animal clinic that I was planning to interview for and tell them what happened and that I couldn't make it. I was excited for that position. It was just as a receptionist, but it was a step in the right direction, I thought. She told me she'd call me back to reschedule the next day, but she didn't. So that was gone.
Okay, let's try this white out, boys and girls.
But was still in school,
and
so I
in
knew
between
I still had
pals. That's not how that rhyme goes, but you get my drift.
Summer ended.
We are inclusive here.
Back to the dorm.
Oh, somebody liked it. Hey, thanks.
About an internship volunteer opportunity at the campus animal clinic oncology department. I had to read through files and files of people asking for financial assistance to pay for their pets, their babies, chemotherapy, or surgery. It was sad.
I need to put my pants on.
I had to watch and prep little and big dogs through this process.
Because,
it was unsettling.
I'm about to paint on my thigh in a second.
And wait for someone to need my help. It was boring.
That's my alarm for me at 8 o'clock to be like, chill out.
I almost fell asleep a lot of times.
It's a funny moment. I was really emotional reading this. It was nice.
I had to watch a man come in with a German Shepherd.
It was nice.
That had a broken leg. And hear him say, "I found this dog. I don't know what to do with it. I brought him in so maybe you can put it down or something." It was infuriating. And I realized, this isn't for me. I hadn't felt any joy in this place. It was a job place. It was where my future was going, and I didn't want it. It was where my life was going, and I didn't want it.
Oh no.
Statement 7. Sometimes you're knocking on the wrong door.
I think we might be.
As you go through life, you may find the road you're traveling is bumpy. there are roadblocks and progress feels rough and slow. It's easy.
Also, another update. I don't have blue paint, so
that life is full of struggles.
So
that you must endure the pain to reach the prize.
Endure the pain to reach the prize.
But sometimes these are lies we're telling ourselves. We're afraid to admit we haven't found our path. We settle for the struggle because we're taught easy things aren't real. It's important to take signals from life. If you're constantly reaching roadblocks, have you thought to change paths? Fear is a huge deterrent of this.
Need something more than this.
Fear because hardship is everywhere. Nothing is all.
I did want to use a small one because it's small and I wanted the length, but this nib just will not do.
The joy man.
The nib is not the move. Okay?
In these trials and hard times, are you excited to find solutions? Are you satisfied when you make that next step, no matter how small? Or are you just going through the motions lifelessly in constant frustration? Are you actually finding solutions? Or are you floating problem to problem until someone else fixes it or a bigger problem comes up? You are a solution to a problem in this life.
You know what I want to do though?
Stop banging your head on the wrong door and take time to find the right one. Statement 8. Not everyone will agree with you. You're in charge of making the final decisions of your life. When you're growing up, the people charged with caring for you have a great amount of authority. But at the end of the day, you choose what actions you take. You generally decide to listen because they clothe and shelter and feed you. And that's a good idea. because you aren't provided those amenities. You aren't providing those amenities for yourself yet. It's also a good idea because they've lived more life, have had certain experiences, have learned certain lessons that you've yet to learn. At the same time, many of those experiences were painful and caused them to become jaded and afraid. When you're developing your own path, there are decisions you'll have to make for you. Decisions others may not see value in, because they don't see how it'll value their life, or they only see how it brings devastation to yours.
Devastation.
Your friends or associates won't always understand your vision. They'll say you're reaching too far, doing too much.
I don't even know how to tell if anyone's watching this, but I'm not too worried about it.
But that's their perspective. That's their opinion.
I added that part in for my nephew, because he likes to say that.
They don't have to agree with you. They don't have to see what you see. Your vision is yours. Your life is yours. It's your job to be the best at being you. Not everyone will agree with what you do to accomplish that. Statement 9. Don't allow people to pressure you to be something you aren't. Living in a human society, we're constantly being influenced by our environment. Everyone has an opinion on what others should do and where and be. There are moments where that pressure pushes at you heavy. That pressure often comes from peers and elders. They'll tell you to be this. I think this is better. You don't know what you're doing. And as a growing person, you're looking for guidance and acceptance.
Words.
Acceptance and validation. But
I don't know if we like her.
at odds with where you're being led or being told to accept.
You know, we still gotta...
You have to stand firm in what
still gotta
you
get through it, I guess.
And believe.
I guess. Yes.
If there's an area or a passion you want to pursue, do that. If there's a role someone is forcing you to play, figure out why you're allowing them to do that. Is it for their sake? If there's a role someone is forcing you to play, figure out why they're doing that. Is it for their own sake? Or is it for yours? You'll receive pushback when you question others. When you're young, it's easy to fold to this pushback. It's always scary to push back on outside pressure. But you feel when things are for you or not for you. You're still learning about life, but it doesn't mean you have to take on what people put on you. It doesn't mean you have to take on what people put on you. We're all constantly learning about life. No one has all the answers.
They tell you they do, there's a lot.
So don't let them pressure you into believing they do.
Yeah, liar pants over.
Especially when it comes to how you live your life. Statement 10. Listen to your pain. When you have a feeling in your heart, a feeling of discomfort or unease, listen to that feeling. When your gut is sinking and you feel devastated, that's powerful. When anything happens to you and you have a strong physical reaction, take time to fully register that feeling. Do not run from painful moments.
I think I want to just do like a quick thing.
Feeling that pain.
And not a full out, like,
means you are becoming.
This is white.
Connected to the source.
Just do a couple layers.
Of who you are.
Ooh.
At core.
Because I do that with the chalk.
Why are you feeling so much pain right now? What words, actions, events triggered?
Pain. It's a whole nother dealio.
Discomfort. This deep discomfort that you're feeling right now. Often, we feel this type of pain when we realize our lives are not what we assumed them to be. When someone we thought we could trust with our thoughts and emotions or ideas completely shatters that trust.
Yeah, life kind of wonky. So this is growing on me now that they're like both that way. It's kind of growing on me. It's kind of growing on me. You know, that was my first instinct, so you know, follow through. Follow through. Oh, hey, girl, hey.
You want or need to do.
I don't know if you can hear me. You said you can see me.
But you feel choked and panicky.
You can hear the book, I should say.
Take a moment to register what you're feeling in that moment. In the moment. You have the power and capability to move past any painful moment in your life. But in order to do that in a successful manner, you have to listen to your pain. Statement 11. Miseducation. Deciding to drop. After I realized animal sciences was not the area of study.
Like, am I not loading my brush? Or like, what's going on?
I had another realization. I was taking a theater class as an elective, and it was my favorite class of the entire week. It was twice a week, first thing in the morning, 8 a.m. I liked my chemistry class and my English class. When I left that theater class, I felt lifted and satisfied. My classmates enjoyed my goofy, committed personality.
Yeah. This one time in that class.
My instructor gave me praise and continuously tried
literally
to convince me
was
to
dragging
take classes next
me and this
semester
girl were just dragging each other
and get more
around
involved in the
because
community.
we were supposed to be like straight taste.
And though I
It was
loved
just funny.
that class, I battled with the mindset
It's so good.
this wasn't for me. Even though I felt more me in that space than I felt anywhere else on campus or anywhere.
Whew.
So I decided, heck with it. I'm going to be a theater major.
Yeah, I was
This is
hyped.
college, right?
I was hyped.
People change majors all the time. Let's try it out. This is the place to experiment and discover who you are. But there was a problem. I was attending university under scholarship, a specific scholarship focused in sciences. If I changed majors, I would lose my scholarship and have to pay full out for the tuition that wasn't covered by financial aid. Correction. My mother would have to pay. And I knew she wouldn't go for that. She wanted me to be a veterinarian and make lots of money as an animal doctor. And she would not accept paying thousands and thousands of dollars for me to become a broke actor. Broke artist. I felt stuck. I felt hopeless. I felt like I had made the greatest mistake anyone could ever make in life. I was paralyzed by the thought that my life was out of my hands. That I had no control even though I was technically an independent adult. My head spun for days, for weeks. The panic attacks came almost constantly. Then one day, I decided to do what I'd always done in my youth to ease my spirit. Listen to The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill by Miss Lauryn Hill. I listened to it again and again and again. This album is my Bible. It's where I go to draw strength and inspiration. How I refill my cup when it's run bone dry. And as her sweet, strong voice filled my ears and my soul with knowledge and empowerment and realness. I cried. I cried. And cried. And cried. Not only because it was nostalgic and beautiful, but because I realized I had to make big decisions. Decisions that would be heavily frowned upon.
Oof. Okay.
And would have huge consequences on my life. I was leading myself.
Got 15 minutes left.
Down a path.
Maybe I'll do my spiel again
since had no map for.
No one heard it. Let's see here. Oh, perfect. So that was statement 11 that we were just listening to. Excuse my very rude hand. So I wrote a book in 2018, and it was initially called Words I Wish I Had. And the concept is just knowledge that really helped to lift me once I was after that part of my life. You know, after I had already attempted suicide. And I was like, if I had had this knowledge prior to that moment, I don't think that moment would have happened. And I think that everything happens for a reason. And I'm not like, I wish I could go back and not have that moment happen again. I do talk about it in the book because, like I said, it's about that. And I do believe everything happens for a reason. So I know that if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have written this book, honestly, you know. But I would like to empower people before they get to that point. Especially young women and girls of color. So, that was the original name of the book, Words I Wish I Had, but then I was messing around with the title on like a book cover thingy, like the little Amazon make a book cover thing. And I was like, I don't like, it says, I wish I had, and I kept seeing that, and I was like, for somebody with a thought of suicide, you know, that's not really the message that you want to send. So, I just got a message from somebody, excuse me. So I changed it to Steps Out of Hell. And I felt like that was very powerful, very accurate. And then I was going through it, the reading of it, and it felt a little more gentle than that, which is why I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with Glittered with Glass. Also because it's focused towards an audience of females 13 to 35. So I think the glitter of it all. Okay? And the original cover that I was making for it had like a sparkly, luminescent kind of glowy light vibe. So I think that will definitely bode well in that aspect, because I already have a cover mate. Just have to change the title, but I am going to change it a little bit because I want it to fit the aesthetic that I have with my artwork. Oh, the most important part of the thing that I was saying earlier. So, I have decided that in order to pick the artwork for my book, which is what hung me up the first time when I wrote the book 2 years ago, the artwork was what hung me up. I decided that this time I'm going to choose, or I'm going to offer 49 people, or I'm going to offer space for 49 people to tell me what they like about one individual chapter. That's why there's 49, and, or statements, I should say. And I'm going to make a piece with a line that they like from that statement, and they get to choose the colors. They can choose different objects to maybe paint. I am an expressionist, so things are kind of like bigger, kind of wonky. So that's gonna kind of be the vibe of it. But for somebody else to pick it, have it be like a co-creative thing. And I'm gonna paste this. I'm going to post this. I mean, it is basically pasting, right? I'm gonna post this all over. I'm gonna definitely post it in Humble's community. I think a lot of people will be interested there. I've already made a couple of like artsy friends. Ooh. And like we've been sliding in the DMs, and it's been cool. And I'm like, yeah, let's send it to them. I think it would just be a really good place to pull that from. And you know, of course, I'm going to share it with Tribe on Facebook, and put it out there for Team Super, because that's a lot of, ooh, that's a lot of young women that are in Team Super that I feel could really benefit. So a lot of my content is going to be focused around this book and doing those sessions. So the sessions are 90 minutes, and there's going to be 2 of them. So the first one is just going to be like, what's your favorite part? Thank you for your support. What colors do you want? How does this relate to you? And we're just going to have that time to discuss it. Like, that really is all that it is. And just any feedback, of course. And then the second one, I'm going to have like the piece basically finished. I'm not going to show you the exact finished piece. It's going to be basically finished. And you'll get to see how it's going. And then we can keep talking about it. We can definitely talk about like other statements from the book. And just like anything that you want to talk about. Honestly, I really am a person that enjoys holding space. So if you have any projects or anything that you're working on, feel free. We can chat about it. So yeah, let me focus on one thing at a time, right? We got 5 minutes. So yeah, so that's gonna be what it is. And they'll come in 4x7, which is $47 for that session. The 5x7 is for $57 for the session, and then there's a 9 by 12 that is 117 for the session. So you can get either one of those 3 sizes. It will be watercolor paper, mixed media. It's 140-pound paper. It's like really thick, really nice. The 5x7 and the 4x7 come framed for free, and the 4x6 and the 5x7 come framed for free, and the 9x12 has a 15-20. I have to see what the cost of the frame is. But it has an additional cost for the frame. So, or you can just have it shipped to you in an sleeve. It'll come in a sleeve if you don't want the frame. So it will be protected. They will have letters of authenticity, so that you can have it. And once I am very famous artist selling $1 million paintings at Christie's and Strathspeys and all the other B's and the T's and all of those other fancy art auction places for millions and millions of dollars, you can sell this for, at least a couple grand, So that's how art works. So if you believe in me and you believe in this message that I'm sharing, and you just believe in my talent, maybe you just want to support Black art. It is Black History Month. You heard? Yeah, go ahead and do that. The money is really to, I am fundraising to save up for an art studio, and also I'm fundraising to get the book, like, I don't want to say published, I want to say produced, because I do want it to have like a handmade feeling to it, and it's not very long, so I think that can be done pretty well. So that's what you're contributing to when you slide into one of these 49 sessions. Again, there's only going to be 49 for now, because I want to get the art down for each statement, and I want to make sure I'm not all over the place, or there's like 2 people and for one, or like everybody really likes the 6th statement or something like that. Like, I want to make sure everything is covered so that when it does come out, then I can go ahead and be like, everybody likes this one, then everybody can do this one, or if this person wants to do this can do that. And I'll still like do art for people too, because I think that that's just super dope. And I'm already planning artistic intention sessions, which basically I'm just painting a quote for you to hang in your space and have positive energy and color and encouragement. Excuse me, laptop is dying. Oh, geez. Oh. Okay. So yeah. That's that. I'm very excited. I'm getting into all the artsy things and all of the self-love cheerleader things, and my book is coming out. She was like, now is the time, and I said, okay baby, here you go. So yeah, we are doing that. I hope you enjoy this. I don't know if it's gonna cut me off, but I'm gonna end it anyway. Have a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, magical day. Remember to create something beautiful and to laugh, because you deserve it. Bye. I don't know how to end this thing, but